Morning, guys. It is June 11th, and we're in Matthew 11, where Jesus says, "Come unto me." And he doesn't just say, "Come unto me," he says, "Come unto me, all ye who are burdened and weary and burdened. Weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest." Rest is a great word. That's why actually it's funny because I remember learning from someone a long time ago what the word shalom meant. And shalom doesn't just mean hello or goodbye or peace. It means shalom. It means rest. It means kind of completeness. It's everything just kind of settled, made right. When it's in Hebrew when people say shalom. Anyway, I was thinking as I was reading this, I was thinking about the we have a half lab, half golden retriever. For those of you who know Duke, and I'll see him out in the corner of the yard, and I'll see him looking, staring at like a deer, and trying to figure out whether he's going to run or not, and meaning run across the boundary of the property. And I'll look at him and say, "Duke, come." And he'll turn back and he'll stare at me for a second, and he'll turn back and he'll look forward, and he'll sit there for a moment just trying to figure out, like he's in that limbo, right? He's in that limbo where he's trying to figure out, okay, do I go back that way or do I go that way? And that's kind of what Chambers is getting at here. The moment we finally say, "Oh, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to listen to the command, and I'm gonna turn around." And you see it with Duke when he finally resigns himself to, like, he'll be sitting there just pondering. Finally resigns himself to listen. He turns around and he comes running to me, and I think it's the same way if you see it like in a service where someone, like in a church service where someone is called and said, where there's an altar call, and they say, "Those who need prayer, come." And people will sit there and just wrestle with it and wrestle with it and wrestle. But when you finally stand up and put your foot into the aisle, it just, everything changes. And it's that submission of will. And so I wanted to highlight a few things in the study today. He says, watch the stubbornness, he says here in the second, because Jesus is saying, "Come unto me, come unto me, come unto me." And it's that I think it's that moment when we finally just kind of lay down our will and we go, that everything changes. He says, watch the stubbornness of your heart. You will do anything rather than the one simple childlike thing, "Come unto me." When we used to have to correct, there's one of our children in particular, when we used to have to correct him, we would hold his hands in our face, hold his face in our hands, sorry, and say, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." And it was this, 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 and it was this. And it's like, just can you just look at me? Like, resign yourself to be corrected, and resign yourself to be submissive, and just look. And I think that's the same thing we struggle with. Resign myself. And when I do, everything changes in an instant. He says here in the second paragraph, personal contact with Jesus alters everything. And I love how he says, "Be stupid enough to come." Stupid meaning laying down our intellect, laying down our common sense and our wanting to figure everything out. Be stupid enough to come and commit yourself to what he says. And then he says, "I will give you rest." That's the promise. Lay it down, lay down your will, come to me, and I'll give you rest. I'll give you rest. I love people get confused with this, or a little bit, sometimes they get a little bit hung up on "my yoke is easy, my burden is light." What does that mean? My yoke is easy, burden is light. A yoke would have been, and if you guys have ever seen oxen yoked together, they're always yoked together. And what he's saying is, my yoke is easy because I will carry the load. If you yoke yourself to me, my yoke is easy. My burden is light. You are binding yourself to someone who will carry the entire load. If you'll just let me, carry the load, I will. And so, I think it just, for me, I know it is for me, It's that decision to lay down will. And it is the and I don't think this is a one-time thing. Jesus saying, "Come unto me." A lot of times we pick up things and we hold on to them for of our own. And he says, "Come here, come here, come here. Let me carry that. Let me give you rest, even in the midst of your trials and tribulations and hurt and anxiety and pain. I'll give you rest." So, hope that's an encouragement to you guys. You guys have an awesome day.